What's going on, everybody? It's Rod with POW Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Today is Sunday, June 15th. Happy Father's Day, and I hope you're doing well. In this video, we're going to take a look at ACHR. We're going to take a look at the ACHR price chart. I'll give my thoughts and opinions on the technicals, the price action, and what to potentially expect in the days, weeks, months ahead. As always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only, and you should never buy or sell anything based on anything that I say or write. Full disclosure, I don't own it at the moment. I am looking to potentially establish a position, but spoiler alert, we could potentially be seeing $14 incoming. And I'm going to hit it with the new POW Algo custom alerts that I've created as well. We've got about 17 of them now. And my girlfriend asked me yesterday that she had a buy order in for ACHR, and she was asking me if it was a good time to buy it at whatever level. And I said, well, let's hit it with the POW Algo custom alerts and see what we see. And the results are shocking. It's pretty awesome. Before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all the good stuff. You'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, like I said, not financial advice, for entertainment purposes only. Follow us over on X as well, formerly Twitter. Handle for that is @GroupPOW. We'll be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So I just posted a video on this yesterday. These new algo alerts, there's the head and shoulders. So you can put this, when I put this into the chart, you'll see when there's head and shoulders, and it even gives you the target. And then same thing with inverse. And I even have bull flags on the chart now as well. So you can bring up the chart here. You can see that there's bull flags being marked, and there's actually another one happening right now. And that makes sense because we have an inverse head and shoulders here. You can see here the left, the head, the right shoulder. And if you take the measured move there from the head to the neckline, it's saying the measured move is targeting about $14.60 here on the daily time frame. And it was also a bull flag. If we just get rid of these just for temporarily so that you can see it, if we zoom in to, and we had some news here. It wasn't great. Obviously, stock was down quite a bit. They had a capital raise. 3 reasons though to buy it on the dip. So that's why we were down, but we're since negating that inverse head and shoulders. We were on our way up there to that target. We did hit a high of 1252. So in terms of percentage away, we came within about 17%. And then obviously the news of capital raise put a damper in that. So we're heading back down at this point. So key support is going to be at 924. But what we're going to be looking at here in just a moment as well was the potential bull flag that was negated. So when I was looking at this chart, you say, okay, there was a bull flag indicator. So what you would do is just take your fib tool, go from the low to the high, and then anything over 1124 would be that bull flag potential. And you can just use your fib tool to get that measured move, and then you would just take your fib tool, go from the low to the high there, and then move it out to your 0.32 fib, and that would be your target for the bull flag. But again, we came down, lost 1124, so that's no longer expected as the case, and that'd be a move up to around $15 if it did confirm. But it was just showing you exactly how you would do that if we were still maintaining that key support, which we're not. So we're no longer expecting that. I believe we had a bull flag on a shorter level time frame. Yeah, it was an hourly time frame. I haven't created an indicator for that yet, but you can see here this was the hourly bull flag here. So you go from the swing low to swing high, and you can see as long as we held 1093, we maintained that bull flag. And then we can just get rid of that here. And now you just take your measured move from the low to the high of that bounce and move it out to your 0.32 fib. And that was the measured move targeting $13. So again, came pretty close, came to 1252. And then obviously the news had something to say about that. But if we zoom out here, I want to show you another really awesome tool. So when I was looking at this chart, like I said, my girlfriend was wondering when would be a good time. I said, somewhere around that $8 mark should be a decent area. We're also hourly oversold at the moment, which will hit it with some ultra and micro overbought and oversold indicators in just a second. But basically the way, why I created these alerts is because it'll email you and it will notify you in the POW Group private community the second one of these alerts fire off. And again, I've got like 17 of them now. If you go over here, check this out. You got all of these custom indicators that I created. And when you sign up for the algo service, you'll get an email and in Slack in the community, and it just real-time alerts you when things happen. Now, another reason why I created it is so that when I look at the chart, I don't even really have to think about it anymore. I just put the logic into the to the indicator, and I hit it with the indicator on the chart, And right now I have head and shoulders and inverse head and shoulders. So now let's look at this formation that happened. This was back on February, the first week of February and the third week of February. You can see here we had two head and shoulders patterns back to back. Here's your neckline, and it gives you the target for each. This right here was the target for this one, and the second one here, this was the target for that one. And it was so accurate. You can see here this first one said the target was 816. We hit a low there of 815, literally a penny off. And then look at the way we bounced off of that. We continued to maintain that for a while. That was a nice area of interest, right? And then we even came back up, topped out just above it, support, try to confirm it as support. And then we even came back to it again and just hovered around that level. But then look what happened. Another head and shoulders confirmed, and that target was 666, and we hit 660. So you literally can't make this stuff up. If you went short on that one and used that as your target, that was a short opportunity of 43%. Or this one here, you could have went short, and that was a short opportunity of 17%. Even if you just entered whenever we confirmed it, that would have been a short opportunity of 7%. This one, if you just entered on a loss here when it confirmed it at 926, that would have been a short opportunity of 28%. Or you can do it the other way. You can say, okay, I'm going to go long once we get to that support at 816. We hit 814. You buy it. You set your stop, say below $8. You risk a few percent. You can even go over here, get your long entry tool, hit it there. There's your target. So this will give you your stop loss and your percentage and your risk to reward ratio. So you would just see here, this is exactly what your risk would be. So let's say you set it at 797. Your stop loss, 797. Your stop is 233. And you could have entered this with a chance to make 15%. So there was some choppy action. We did continue to go lower. There was actually a hourly bear flag here. And then you can just draw that out here. And I'll see if I can get this on the chart as well to do bear flags. But one step at a time. So we go over here, and then we just take that measured move to the 0.382 fibs. This is called confluence. We not only did we have two head and shoulders in a row, which is a bearish reversal pattern, not only did we have a target of 666 from the second from the second head and shoulders, then we had an hourly bear flag saying we were targeting about 690. So again, this is called confluence, multiple patterns, indicators, signals, all saying the same thing. That would have been a great area to go long there as well. I probably would have waited and not entered here long on this one. I would have said, okay, well, we have two of them, so I'll use this as my long entry at 666. We hit 660, like I said, and then you could go long there, set your stop. You could even set your stop below $6, right? $6 psychological, and then just get your tool here and say, okay, what's my goal? Am I looking to make 100%? Am I looking to make 50%, 30%, 20%, 10%? What is my goal here? So you could have entered, like I said, set your stop loss, which we'll just go grab that here. We'll bring it up to just under $6. So let's say you're willing to risk 10%, and on this trade, from where we bounced, you had the opportunity to make 42%. So that's a 3.92 risk reward ratio. That is a great trade there, and you don't have to be greedy, right? You could have even set a very tight stop loss. You enter at 664 and maybe risk 2 or 3%, and you could have made 42% of upside. And again, if you missed that opportunity, there was another chance here, and it was essentially a triple bottom right off that key support at 660. So let's say you missed this first move. Well, you had another chance to enter, and it was a triple bottom, and you can see how much support was in that level. And then even from there, we decided that we were going to go up another 37%. So that was a great signal. There was also an inverse head and shoulders that occurred back here, and you can see this one was a little choppy. We did see a fake out and a bear trap, but then ultimately we went back to that target. And now if we just go back into the chart a little bit here, a little bit further back, I believe there was another one on the hourly time frame. Yeah, there was one here. So that one there, you wouldn't have got stopped out if you set your stop below the head. And that's what you can do with these indicators, is use the head as your stop. Or if you want to be a little bit more conservative, use the right shoulder as your stop. So those are the inverse head and shoulders, and it was absolute money on those calls. So now we'll zoom out here and we'll try a different indicator. So let's hit it with the ultra oversold, because we're recently in hourly oversold. So I have micro oversold, which is the 5, 15 minute and hourly timeframes all simultaneously oversold. When those conditions are all met, when it's all done simultaneously, you'll get an email and a notification in the Pow Group private community. And as you can see, we had 2 micro oversold alerts. And look what happened the last time we were micro oversold. You could have entered here and it told you it was micro oversold when the price closed at $9.95, and then from there it went up 26%. Now we have 2 in a row, and we could potentially see a massive bounce in my opinion. But one thing we want to learn here about this pattern is another bear flag that's forming. So you go from the high to the low there, and that is another potential bear flag. So you'd have to lose key support. So key support right now is 977. If we lose that, that's an hourly bear flag that confirms. Then you just take your measured move and move it out to your 0.382 fib, and it's saying 858. So that's why I told my girlfriend, maybe you want to wait closer to that $8 area at this point. And like I said, on the daily time frame, we could still see an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, which that hasn't happened since back in late February. And we could be heading towards daily oversold. So now that we did the micro oversold, now we'll do ultra oversold, which is the hourly, 4-hour, and daily time frame being oversold all at the same time. And again, you'll get an alert and an email when this happens. So look what happened the last time we were ultra oversold on the POW custom indicator. It said ultra oversold when we closed at 291. That was an upside potential of 382% the last time we were ultra oversold. And he said, okay, that's great for buys. What about sells? Okay, well then you just hit it with the ultra overbought. And look at this. It said here multiple times it was overbought. And this one right here, we even had another head and shoulders and an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross. But this one here, you could have entered on this overbought signal, and that would have been a short of 51%, or you could have saved yourself 51% of downside. And then we just had another ultra overbought signal. We'll reset the chart and zoom in. You can see here, this one said it was overbought at 11.16. So if you exited at 11.16, that would have saved you 17% of downside, and then you could have reloaded cheaper, right? Those are another way that you can play it. So those are the overbought, micro, and ultra. Like I said, we have so many different indicators now. There's about 17 of them. You'll get a notification when there's a daily death cross, golden cross. I have the dynamic Bollinger Bands, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders, M2 money supply. This one's really cool. It's usually best on the monthly time frame, and you can see here the last time we got a buy, it said it was a good buy around $3.03, and then it went all the way up to $13.92. So this is just taking into account the money supply, the global money supply, which is M2 is just basically like liquid, very liquid, kind of like cash accounts around the world, and that's growing, right? And then you can see tons of other indicators. There's ML trend predictor. I've got multi-time frame RSI divergence, platinum bear cross and bull cross. That's when the 50 and the 200 weekly moving average cross, and volatility squeeze breakout. So let's hit it with the ML trend predictor here. This is a machine learning algorithm. And again, this just tells you when could potentially be a good time to buy or sell. It's not financial advice, but this one right here, look at this one. This one was money as well. It said it was a good buy at 705, and we went all the way up to 1392. And then this one told you to sell, could have saved about 10% of downside. We just had another buy, but again, with this news coming into effect, with the capital raise, that skews any kind of technical analysis. And we had huge volume there, but at the moment, we still haven't gotten another sell signal here on the ML trend predictor, which is just the machine learning trend predictor. So there's a lot of different ways we can use this. On the weekly time frame, we did have a red flag. We had the stochastic cross bearish, and one of my favorite indicators that I created is the triple thunder crossover, bearish and bullish. So what it is, I'll give you the bullish scenario. So this is when we had the triple thunder bullish crossover. So what that indicator is when the price crosses above the 10-week moving average, and the stochastic sees a bull cross, and the MACD sees a bull cross on the weekly all at the same time, that will fire off an alert called a bullish triple thunder crossover. So you could have entered there when that alert fired off on October 28th. The price was at 328, and again, it went all the way up to north of, just under $14. So that was a great entry signal there. Now, a bearish triple thunder crossover is the opposite. When the price closes below the 10-week moving average, the MACD and the stochastic cross bearish. So you can see here it actually so it didn't happen here. We closed below it, but we didn't see the MACD bear cross. So this one right here would be where the alert would have fired off for the bearish triple thunder crossover, because the price was below the 10-week moving average for the first time since bullish. Then we had the stochastic bearish and the MACD cross bearish. So you would have got the signal here at 902, and then we dropped all the way down to 703. That's how we can use that indicator. But we're starting to see that bearish triple thunder happen again, where the stochastic has already crossed bearish. We're close to losing the 10-week moving average, and the MACD could cross bearish over the next week or two, which means, yeah, we could be back into that $8 range over the next couple of weeks. We also have the 50-week moving average at 691. So again, when we get extended to the upside, we gravitate back towards it as support. Get extended to the downside, then we gravitate back towards it as resistance. Same thing here, got extended, back to it as support, getting extended again. More than likely going to come back down and back test it at some point. Keep in mind, these are lagging indicators to the price. So by the time we get there, this might be adjusted to around that $8 mark. So again, a lot of support in that $7 to $8 range. On the daily time frame, we also have the 50-day moving average at 926 and the 100 at 894. So again, a lot of support in that $8 range. And then the 200-day moving average at 721. If it were me, and this is what I said to my girlfriend, I would be, personally, I like to be very, very patient. I probably will wait to add around $5 or $6. But, there's another way you can do it. And if you want to buy it at $8, well, okay, maybe buy a little bit at 8, a little bit at 7, a little bit at 6, a little bit at 5. Just set some buy orders, limit buys, and scale in a few different orders, right? And then that way you're not just buying all at once. And, typically it's very difficult to time the bottom. And we could even potentially be gearing up for a death cross here with the 50-day above the 200-day moving average and crossing. When that happens, again, on the POW algo alert, you'll get an email when that happens. And yeah, I've got over, right now I think there's 50 crypto and stocks. So a mix of 50 crypto and stocks that are all being alerted on this POW algo. And it's only getting better. I'm adjusting it all the time, adding more stocks and cryptos and alerts. And it's amazing. I know a lot of the people who have signed up for it now just can't say enough good things about it and are absolutely loving it. So if you haven't taken advantage of that, I highly encourage you to do so. You can do so at powgroup.com, powgroup.ca or pursuitofwealthgroup.com. There'll also be links for it in the description and in the comment section. And the price will be going up soon, so you can take advantage of that. And POW Group private community members, if you're not a POW Algo subscription member yet, you can get 20% off just by having the POW Group membership. So reach out to me for the coupon. I'll get you 20% off for life as long as you're a POW member, and take advantage of that before the price goes up as well. All right, going in it there, let me know what you think of this in the comment section below. Love your thoughts and opinions. It's Rod with POW Group. Thanks again for joining us on the Pursuit of Wealth, and we'll see you again on the next video.